Hello there, I'm Dr. Thomas Martin from the University of California in San Francisco, and we're here today with Blood Cancers Today, discussing bispecifics and how we incorporate these new novel therapeutics in our treatment armamentarium for relapsed multiple myeloma. And I'm joined with several esteemed colleagues.
Hi, I'm Angela Dispenzieri, Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota.
Hi, Ajai Chari, recently at University of California, San Francisco as well.
Ajay Nooka from Emory University.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. So we're going to just go over a few things about bispecifics. I think let's start off with an overview. These really have changed the platform in our treatment paradigms for patients with multiple myeloma, thankfully, and it's really been quite a welcome addition to our armamentarium. We have 3 now that are currently approved in multiple myeloma: Teclistamab, Talquetamab, and Elranatamab. And all actually, I think, have really a nice story in terms of the FDA approval. I'm curious, Angela, maybe you can tell us a little about Teclistamab. What impresses you about Teclistamab currently in the relapse setting?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the first in class to be approved, so we have the most experience with it, and it was a kind of a revolution, something new to help patients. The strategy and the overall response rates, the ability with the step-up dosing to reduce toxicity, the ability to use it, transition patients pretty rapidly to outpatient, especially we have a remote monitoring thing that we can talk about later. But really, it's the responses and the durability of responses that we're seeing. And looking forward to kind of seeing it move, where is it after 4th line, or can we get to 2nd line and other.
Correct. And I love it in our meetings where we show our quote-unquote old drugs like lenalidomide and pomalidomide and carfilzomib, and we see the baseline single agent response rates in the 20 to 30%
right, and here
range.
You're 60, beyond, and CR rates 40%, and duration of response 18 months. So it's amazing.
It really is amazing. I tell people locally, and a lot of my patients, for us, it's been available since December, so maybe 8 or 9 months. Right. I don't think there's been another drug that's been approved where we've treated so many patients with that single agent drug over the last 8 to 9 months. We're approaching 60 patients treated at UCSF with Teclistamab, which is really amazing, right? What other drug have we, basically put that to the road test so quickly? And now we're seeing hopefully some more real world experiences with the drug, which is great. All right, so now we also have Talquetamab. Ajay, what do you think about Talquetamab? What impressed you most about Talquetamab?
Well, 60 to 100 is the new 20 to 30, right? And so the response rates, I think what's unique about all of the bispecifics that are off the shelf, right? Because we also have the CAR Ts that have been amazing. But the truth is, a lot of the rapidly progressing patients can't wait for those elusive CAR T slots and the manufacturing. So that's, I think, the #1 benefit of bispecifics, all 3 of them. But then TAL is unique in that it's the only bispecific approved that's targeting GPRC5D, which is a novel target, the genes expressed on 12p. And the drug, similar to the other bispecific, has step-up dosing. And then the response rate is around 70%, and the PFS for the every 2-week dosing is actually 14 months, which is amazing for an off-the-shelf product. And the toxicities, which we're going to talk about more, are unique and non-overlapping with other drugs, which also makes it a great combination strategy. And I think the other unique thing about this was one of the cohorts that led to the accelerated approval was also in patients who had prior T-cell redirection therapy. So even in those patients, the response rate's over 60%. I think we need to do more work with sequencing, and I'm sure that's an area that we'll talk about. But I think it's nice to have a non-BCMA option for our patients that are clearly in need of this drug. And I think it speaks to how quickly these studies have accrued, because there's so few drugs for patients who've already had BCMA or looking for a non-BCMA option.
Yeah, the worry with all of this is that patients do relapse, experience disease relapse, and what's next, right? The worry, what is their next thing? And so with BCMA, we now have what's next at the current time. Now I'm going to ask you in a little bit, is there a reason to use GPRC5D before BCMA, and see what you say. But yeah, it's really exciting to have a new target. So Dr. Nooka, you actually had a lot of experience with Elranatamab in the clinical trial. So tell us what impressed you about Elranatamab.
So Elranatamab is the second BCMA bispecific antibody that was approved. We have a great experience with Teclistamab, as Dr. Dispenzieri explained. So Elranatamab, what impresses me the most are the response rates, similar to what was expected for any BCMA bispecific antibody. But the toxicities are so predictable. And if you look at the safety is all in alignment with what we expect from a bispecific antibody. But being the second in the game, we already have a steep learning curve with the first agent, so you expect the toxicities to be mitigated drastically, and that's what we had seen in terms of the lower risk of infections, in terms of the CRS, and all those we were well prepared for when we got the Elranatamab in place. And it's a very exciting time. More is good. So I hear that more is not good at times, but this is, you get we have two CD38 antibodies. We have two BCMA targeting CAR-Ts. We have two BCMA targeting bispecific antibodies. The more that you delve into the combination space, there are things that the signals that you can expect from these different combinations really open up doors for us for wider research. So that's what excites me the more.
So more is always better. I completely agree with you in terms of that.